So this is classic problem, reaction, solution. Create the economic crisis, then say total tyranny is the solution, and paying our taxes, carbon taxes on all human activity, to the new super private central bank they're openly setting up in Bretton Woods, too. So joining us, ladies and gentlemen, is Jordan Maxwell. Jordan, good to have you here with us.
Well, I'm glad to be with you again, Alex. I don't know what we could add to what you just said. I mean, that pretty well says it all. I mean, my God, it's just incredible watching what's going on right in front of our eyes, right in front of our faces, and and nothing seems to bother the American public. They just keep watching, and it just keeps getting darker and darker down the tunnel. And I'm just amazed. I don't have any words for it. But there is something else bigger, even bigger than all of that going on. This thing that's happening to America is very, very ancient, very old. And I've been looking at this thing for a long time, and it's really, really scary, because the implications are it's not just going to destroy the individuality of the people of America and enslave the Americans. This is a worldwide phenomena, and it's been going on for a long time, and I've been doing a lot of work on that over the years. And I just, I'm just amazed. I don't know where to start.
Well, Jordan, that was my first question for you. Is that, 40, 45? How long have you been fighting the globalists?
I started in 59, so that's right around 48 years now. I've been looking and talking about this subject.
So getting close to 50 years here,
yes.
Dealing with this. Everything you said, everything you laid out, how they would do it, the steps they would go in, you were right, others were right, covering different slices of the agenda, G. Edward Griffin, Gary Allen, people like that. And now you've been proven right, vindicated in spades. Now tell us what it's like to see it all admitted, and what that means that the globalists are now emerging. We always said that was key. The uncloaking was when they would put the capstone on, and then, so what does it mean that they're now announcing it all after denying it, and then where are we going?
Oh, I'll tell you. Alex, like you said, I've been working on this for many, many years. Back in 1967, I stumbled upon a piece of the puzzle that at the time I knew was going to be very important. I just didn't know why or how. And since 1967, I've been looking at that one piece along with everything else, but especially has that piece of the puzzle that I discovered in 67 been paramount in my thinking and in my research. And only until the coming of the new president did that, 40-some-odd years of research in 67 finally come into full view. It's a story that you would not believe, and I'm just amazed that all the things that I've been researching on that one subject is now in your face everywhere. I was talking about it many years ago, and the reason I'm not getting into that one symbol and one subject is because it's so big. It's such a huge subject. But the same symbolism, the words and terms that were used by the Egyptians, used in the ancient Middle East, used in ancient Greece, and in Rome, and then finally into Europe and Britannia, and finally into America. You can trace these words, terms, and symbols all the way back into ancient history, and the implication is that we are facing something which is so awesome and so old and so well established that this is why we are not able to do anything, because people, generally speaking, do not know the perimeters of how old and vast and monumental this apparatus is. And until you understand how far back this thing goes and what these symbols mean. Like I said, I've got over 40 years looking at this one symbol that is just driving me crazy, because Obama's government is filled with this kind of occult symbolism.
The rising sun? Face. The rising sun?
You got it. That's exactly right.
Now, let's stop there. We saw Obama coming, but I didn't realize that in America, Even the Washington Post admits that he's using Hitlerian and Maoist and Stalinist colorations, posters, slogans, and now they create the crisis with Bush, get everybody scared, and then make all the hate of Bush about loving Obama, transferring all that energy into their agenda, and now it's all just going at light speed, and they're calling him president of the world, Messiah. Is he a prototype of their world leader, or could Obama be their messianic leader?
Well, I'll tell you, everything you just said is absolutely correctly understood. You're exactly right. That the words and terms, and this, you said it so much better than I could, that the terms, the symbols, the words, the catchphrases are taken directly out of the Soviet school of philosophy, taken directly out of the communist philosophy, taken directly out of Adolf Hitler's philosophies and words and terms that were used by the Nazis. And once you see this, it's just overwhelming to me. It's just
it's staggering.
It's staggering.
I feel
how
thunderstruck.
In your face it is. It's right there in your face. But the people have never spent time looking at this kind of an arcane subject of how world leaders use occult terms and symbols to manipulate the human masses. And so, again, I don't see it as a problem for America. Now, I see it as a problem for the human race. The entire human species on Earth is now in serious trouble because the entire Earth is now covered with these symbols, words, and terms. And today, around the world, nobody seems to recognize it. Nobody seems to know. Why? Because no one studied the subject. It's just appalling to me. And
now, you know, let me just ask you: the global architects, the Babylon Mystery Schools, they believe in a coming world Messiah, and in the prototypes that they've had from India and the Middle East, it is generally a brown-skinned man. And I couldn't believe it when I saw Obama coming that he could be the one. And I'm not even getting into a Christian issue here because the elites have their own Messiah complex, as you know well, Jordan. But for the audience, is he a prototype to their coming world Messiah, or do you think the elite are actually trying currently to make him be the one?
Well, I'm not sure, but you know, on the one hand, I have to say about Obama and his family, I like you know, his presence. His presence is very likable. His family is very charming, and the girls are absolutely charming. And I don't have anything against Obama and his family, but I'm just saying that if you know the symbols, if you've studied them over the years, the words, the terms, the catchphrases, the little small emblems that are words and the terms that are used, and begin to study how these symbols are used, what the words mean. Once you have got that down, then you begin looking at American politics and American presidential politics. It's alarming. It's just staggering. These are the same terms that Adolf Hitler used, but especially now the Soviet terms and symbols that were. I was talking many years ago, giving lectures back in '67 on Soviet philosophy, symbolism, what it meant, and today it is everywhere in your face. In the newspapers, magazines, television, they are using the same terms that I grew up with since 1967, looking at those terms.
What about the charms? What about the charms? He carries different days. Little Norse gods, little monkey gods from the Hindus. He always has these charms with him. What's that about?
Well, I know that's just on the face of it that's frightening and scary, because I already know that, like I said, not just America, but the entire earth is in trouble. The whole world is in trouble. And probably one of the most fantastic things is for me to see around the world people jumping and in jubilation for the coming of Obama, and people are dancing in the streets around the world, never even suspecting what the whole entire agenda really is. And
notice he came right as the crisis was peaking. They engineered it perfectly. As he comes in, he's now got the agenda. He'll save you.
You got it. And it's just amazing to me how much people don't know. No one has taken the time to look at these symbols and words.
Well, let me ask you this, and we're going to come back from break and go through it. The monkey charm in Hindu religion, what does that symbolize?
Well, it goes all, like I said, it's just a huge subject on ancient religions. We can talk about that later then.
Okay, well, let's come back and continue with the world agenda. Why are they openly announcing world government, world taxation, world regulation, and saying we've got to get behind Obama? And then Henry Kissinger saying Obama will bring in the New World Order on CNBC. Obama will bring in the new age. Stay with us, ladies and gentlemen. Jordan Maxwell is our guest.